Welcome to the Raise Podcast. I'm Coral.
And I'm Natalie.
And we're here to help you raise your game whilst raising the next generation.
We want to help put the power in your hands and inspire you to live your life the way you choose. Ready to raise some questions?
Well, so are we.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Raise Podcast. On today's episode, we have Niall Kiddle, who is the founder of Organised Nutrition, which is an all-in-one grass-fed beef protein powder enriched with collagen, colostrum, and beef organs. He is a big advocate for ancestral eating and through his social media encourages us to utilise ancient practices into our modern day world.
Niall, thank you so much for joining us today. You've been involved in the wellness industry for a while now, haven't you? Can you please tell us a little bit more about your journey and how you got into it?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me. It's been a while since I first got into it. And to be honest, my whole life I've been into my idea of health, whatever that is at that moment in time. And I guess the journey has always been there because my dad's he was a triathlete, professional triathlete. That was his job. And
Wow.
I have memories being young, just traveling around with him and seeing him doing crazy like Ironmans and stuff. And so competition is something that runs deep in me. I'm very competitive and I got into football at a young age, playing a lot of football, and I've been obsessed with anything that can improve my performance and my recovery. And I've got a few friends that are also into that. And so my thing is just talking about, have you tried this supplement? Have you done this weird technique, this breathing thing, like improve my performance, like whatever it is.
Amazing.
I've always been interested in it. I was plant-based for a little bit.
So
Well, we all, I feel like everyone
That
on this
is-
journey.
We were too.
I know. And that's the entrance. That's like the door into health generally, especially in the last like 6-7 years. It was just popping off there. And I think there's now, and I used to work at a supplement company. So now I'm seeing the data that there is a switch happening. People know that they're missing nutrients. And I've just been completely obsessed with the last 4 years going into more nutrient dense foods because I've seen how it affects me, my mum. And it's like, there are people that love studies, but I'm someone that loves going on how I feel, how I look, how my family looks, people close to me, and that anecdotal evidence. When you start to hear stories over and over, like genuine evidence in the form of just like someone's cleared the IBS symptoms, whatever it is, that for me is really big. So obviously studies, they mean something, but like anecdotal evidence is just like, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, totally agree. So it's really interesting because I heard a while ago, and it's something that's really stuck with me. It's a quote that says, if your great-grandparents don't recognize it, then you shouldn't eat it. And the other day I looked in your Instagram profile and literally in your bio, it talks about eating what your great-grandparents eat. So can you tell everybody a little bit more about what you do and don't eat yourself?
Yeah. There's a lot that I don't eat. And I think it's important to start with saying that I don't feel restricted. And I know you guys eat the similar way to me. And it's when you get into this and you get deep, you do it because you want to be healthy, you want to be the best version of yourself. But as you go deeper into it, you realize that there's so much, you can literally make anything you want with whole foods. It doesn't need to be processed.
Yeah.
And when you eat that way for long enough, you don't miss the processed foods. So when people say, do you feel restricted because you can't get pizza, your friends are going to a restaurant and it's fast food or whatever it is, well, I literally don't want to go. I don't miss that food. So I'm in that way, like I'm not restricted. And when I say your great-grandparents need to recognize it, if they went into the supermarket now, like the only thing they're going to know is the produce, the fresh produce, the meat, eggs, vegetables. Like they wouldn't know any of the processed stuff, which makes up about 80-90% of the supermarket.
Which is mad, isn't it?
And today, 60% of people's diets is ultra processed in the UK, and it's worse in the US.
That's mad.
And it's just like, I was eating that way and I saw how it affected me. And so I think there's so many different ways to communicate this message. And I'm all about trying to get it through empathy because I did eat that way. And I used to work with Paul Saladino as a videographer there.
Wow.
And his content's great and it influenced me, but it's very one-sided. And if you're a vegan, you're against Paul. And I just I loved it. And I started going out in that way. But in my time there, I realized that if you're vegan, like you're not against us because you're doing it because you want to be healthier. It's ultra processed foods that's the enemy.
Yeah.
And so the clearest way
I love that.
to communicate that is saying that, our great-grandparents, they were thriving and they didn't eat ultra processed foods. It's the foods that they recognize today. That's what the message is.
That's so true. So what don't you eat?
So I don't, so I was long-winded.
So obviously, no, it's fine. So you don't
There's
eat.
a lot. So it's anything ultra processed.
So what label, if you were to put a label on your diet, because people like to label things, what would you label yourself
I don't like calling
as.
it a diet because it's like just a way. It's
a
just
way of
eating
life.
things that come
But
from
just
nature.
so people, because obviously we follow you, so we know what you do and don't eat.
The foods that I think are in everything that I strictly avoid, will not touch, is like vegetable oils, obviously, aka seed oils, depending on where you're from. Like it's like rapeseed oil, sunflower oil. And when people ask, I don't understand why you don't eat sunflower oil. It's not that bad, surely. That is the epitome of ultra processed, in an ultra processed ingredient. And unfortunately, that is in so much food. You go to the shop, like the bread, the cereal, granola. So I'm avoiding all that.
Everything.
I try and eat as much that's literally as it comes. It's a single ingredient. So if it's got 5, 6, there's just so much to list. But if it's got like 5, 6 ingredients and I don't know what they are, I can't even pronounce them, I won't touch it.
Okay. Because I see, I mean, for example, Natalie, you said that Niall put raw bone marrow in a smoothie the other day.
Yeah, I was telling her and I was like, oh my God, did you see that smoothie that he made with raw bone marrow?
So you do eat a lot of animal foods, don't you? But in their natural state. And you obviously are a massive advocate for organ meats. And I see that you eat like a really high mineral based diet, don't you? So even like this morning, I saw you had like bee pollen. And, yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you eat in the average day?
Yeah, what's the
So if you know Paul Saladino and you know his animal-based diet, and it's very, very big in the United States and getting bigger here, that is grass-fed meat, raw dairy, raw honey, and then just seasonal fruit and veg.
Okay.
That is literally what I eat.
Okay.
Paul is less with the vegetables. He thinks that there's more plant defense chemicals, which is true to a certain degree. My belief on that is that there are studies that show that there are plant defense chemicals in there that do upset your gut, some people more than others, but it's a really small amount that affects you. And
that's interesting.
It's more like, how do you feel eating it? Because if I eat grains, that will upset my gut. But I can eat carrots, I can eat herbs. I have an Italian background. My family's from Italy. My granddad used to have an Italian restaurant. And when I was eating the way that I was eating with Paul, I was really missing herbs. And there was vegetables that I was craving.
To you, isn't it? Yeah.
Something was speaking to me. So I used to go off and sneak in like some, I'd make basically a pasta without the pasta and just have like all these herbs, tomatoes and things and olive oil. And I couldn't work out why Paul was so against it. But I think it's just part of his message and his...
I understand that. Yeah.
But I felt great on it. And so it just made sense for me to add them back in. I still have a lot of meat. I don't want to be known as like the meat guy, but there's a lot of nutrients in organs and animal meat, obviously. But you can include the vegetables as well.
Yeah, because even recently I've even been considering, because I did follow strictly an animal-based diet for about a year. And recently I'm contemplating reintroducing salads and things, because there is an element of me that wants to...
It's almost like salads. Are you missing them?
So I think if you crave something, that's your body talking to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
If you, the way you are right now, you're probably quite a minimal diet in the sense that you don't eat ultra processed foods. So if you add one thing in, take something out, you'll have really good evidence of how that affects you, because you have like that minimalistic diet where it's just whole foods. So it is interesting to add stuff back in, see how you feel. If it upsets you,
we're so sensitive, aren't we? As soon as I have anything that I don't agree with now, whether I wouldn't have known that years ago, whereas now I feel like you know straight away, don't you?
It's just being in tune with your body. For me, it's sweet potatoes. And I love them. And I just, my gut was so bad. And I was like, I'm eating so clean, I cannot work it out. But I'd have like this big bowl of, my thing was just every night, sweet potato fries with beef tallow. And it's so good. Like really crispy ones. It made me hungry. And then as soon as I stopped, there was one day where I didn't have it. And I was just back to normal. I was like, oh my God, I think it's the sweet potatoes.
Oh, that's such a shame.
Which is interesting, because sweet potatoes used to upset my stomach. I couldn't eat them for so long, but now I can.
Sometimes I do feel like you can heal your gut lining and then are able to reintroduce foods. Because I did an Ayurvedic retreat earlier in the year and I was concerned because there were grains included. And I was really nervous going, but I was like, I have to fully embrace this experience. And I went and I was absolutely fine and able to tolerate them. So there was a part of me that thought maybe I've kind of healed my gut a little bit.
It isn't a one size fits all either, because what works for me doesn't necessarily work for someone else. And what upsets my gut could make other people thrive, because there's so many different things like genetics, their ancestry, what they've grown up eating, like
your blood type.
And your microbiome adapts to certain foods as well. So there's a lot of different things. And then there's the other side, which I've been getting into, which is called quantum biology.
Okay.
And
I don't say that.
I don't know if you guys, I don't want to go too deep into it because it is really
brief.
Really sciencey. I'm not really qualified to talk about it, but it's something super interesting. And it's a fancy name for something that I think we've done for thousands of years naturally. And I was doing it anyway, which is eating local and seasonal. And the reason is that when you eat pineapple that's grown in Costa Rica and you're in the UK and it's winter, your body is just so confused. Your gut will be confused, and it actually damages your gut to eat food that's not in season and it's come from the other hemisphere.
Wow.
I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense saying
And
it out loud.
And we're all about eating. We all often say, don't we, when things just make sense. And I've actually thought about that a lot previously, but there's almost an element, when you hear something and it's like ignorance is bliss, and you don't want to go there because it's going to be even more restrictive. And I'm like,
what do we do about mango?
So is that what you're starting to...
I was kind of doing it anyway, but every now and then I'd have like dates or something. I think it's okay. Like if you really love dates, they don't grow in the UK, like it's fine every now and then. But if you're
tell me I can't eat
it. I know. I love them so much with butter or something.
Yeah.
But if you're eating just tropical fruit and you're in the UK and you've got gut issues, it's worth looking at why is that. Try seasonal, and it's hard in the UK in the winter, but right now you can get seasonal berries and stuff that are growing. Even if it is grown artificially, it's not the best, but it's better than eating tropical fruit. The reason is, just to like really brief overview of why that is because the sun and also the ground has information, and even animals, plants, fruit is just essentially stored information from the sun. So when you eat that, your body processes that information, and if it's processing South African apples in winter, you're like, what the hell is this?
Love that.
I know. It's so interesting. You can go really deep in this topic, but...
I wish we had longer. I'm going to do my research. I'll message you after. What were you talking about? Yeah.
So you're also a really big advocate for drinking raw milk, right? Can you tell the listeners a bit more about why they should be drinking raw milk and why it's different to, say, store-bought milk?
Yeah, I get like so excited with this topic. Raw milk is essentially milk that has come straight from the cow with no processing. There's 3 things to milk that are worth knowing. The first is, has it been homogenized, which is just when you have the cream naturally sits on top of the milk, and when you homogenize it, you mix it up and it breaks up the fat solubles in there, the vitamins get broken up, and it kind of denatures it in a way that is less nutritious than just literally leaving it as it comes out.
And is that what's in the supermarkets?
They are typically homogenized because they don't want the cream sat on top. People don't like that. And we have access to everything. So we choose what we want now, supply and demand. The second thing is the big one, which is pasteurization. And that is obviously heating it up at a certain temperature. It's pretty high. And they say that they can do low temp, but it's not. It's like 130 degrees. And when you boil milk, you denature the proteins, the conformation of the whey changes. So it's a different type of protein. And we've only been doing it in the last like 60, 70 years properly. You lose the enzymes, digestive enzymes, specifically lactase, which breaks down lactose. And that's why people have lactose intolerant symptoms. And a cool story on this is I gave a girl at this event that I was launching organised, I gave her a big thing of raw buffalo milk, and she was severely lactose intolerant, had it in the morning, and then came and found me at the end of the show, and she was like, what have you put in this? She's like, I feel amazing.
No.
And I was pretty confident. I was so excited to see her reaction, but she's now drinking raw milk and she loves it.
Amazing.
Wow.
And then just to touch on the third thing is the genetic type of the cow or the animal, the species, which is either A1 or A2. And so when you have A2, you want to be looking for like a Jersey cow, Guernsey cow, or sheep, goat, and buffalo. And A1 is the black and white cow. You want to avoid the A1, which is typically all of the store, grocery, supermarket milk. And the reason is A1 has a amino acid called casein. And for some reason, humans, it's natural, but humans just don't do well with casein. And that also creates a lot of lactose intolerant symptoms. So people think that, I'm lactose intolerant, but it's because they're having A1. And we just aren't able to digest casein in the same way that A2 is beta casein. It just basically doesn't have the amino acid in.
Wow, that's so interesting.
That's so, because I've often found it's really interesting because I drink a lot of raw milk. And when I've ordered A2 raw milk, I find that I digest it easier. And I kind of knew there was something to do with the digestion, but I didn't know what it was. So thank you for saying right. Yeah.
And then
because you actually recommended, what was the company that you get your raw milk, your A2 raw milk?
Buffalicious.
No, there was one, and then I ordered it after you did. What were they called?
A lot. I try all the different milks.
And you've actually set up a page, haven't you? Is it on your app? Where people find?
The app is completely free, and the whole purpose of the app is it was a bit of a passion project, but it's called Organised, and I feel like it's my mission now to just connect people to local farms, to support the farmers, because that's where I get my food from. That is where the best quality food is from, to thrive as a proper human.
Amazing.
Optimal. And unfortunately, in the next few years, 50% of farmers are going to go out of stock, out of business, because of the fact that the commercial global food chain is just taking over and cutting the prices is ridiculous. It's impossible to make profit as a farmer now. So I want to get people back. And it's really cool. I haven't really marketed it, but there's a couple thousand people using it. And I'm getting all these messages of, there was one girl that went on a 4-hour hike. She's like 17, so she didn't drive. And she was saying that she just did a 4-hour hike to one of the apps, the farms on the app, to get raw milk. And is like, it was just so cool. I was like, that's such a cool
on
story.
your app, if people sign up to your app, they can actually find raw milk locally to them.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And there's also ones that you can order from, because not everyone's near. Yeah. There's about 70 something farms on there. So there's quite a few.
Just a quick break to talk to you about Happy Mammoth. At Raise, our goal is to help women and mothers to live their best lives. And that's exactly what Happy Mammoth want you to do too.
They are dedicated to helping women take control of their well-being at every stage of their life. Hormones are essential for our overall health and happiness, as they impact everything from our energy levels, sleep, to our mood and our focus. And when they're out of balance, well, life can feel pretty out of balance too. Which is why we're excited to share Happy Mammoth's Hormone Harmony with you.
Hormone Harmony isn't just for women going through menopause, it's for anyone experiencing the effects of hormonal changes. We both take Hormone Harmony as part of our daily supplement go-tos and are so impressed with the ingredients and benefits we feel from taking it. They're packed with adaptogens, which are really powerful herbal extracts that help your body manage stress, and it's designed to naturally restore balance and help you feel like yourself again.
You may have actually seen Hormone Harmony on social media already, because women cannot stop raving about how it has transformed their lives. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds.
So whether you're navigating life's transitions into menopause or just looking for hormonal balance, check out Hormone Harmony from Happy Mammoth, because life's too short to let your hormones hold you back.
For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code RAISE at checkout.
Amazing. I haven't had a proper look into it, but I saw it on your Instagram the other day and I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's cool. Like, it's really nice to check out. And there's so many farms in the area that you just wouldn't have any idea. So it's raw milk, there's grass-fed meat, raw honey, seasonal fruit and veg and everything. So
it's not just raw milk. I thought it was just raw milk.
That's the big one. But when you go to those farms, they have farm shops and there's some really cool products there.
Amazing. Well, we'll have to try and share the directory.
Yeah, 100% spend loads more money.
Exactly.
That's the problem, isn't it? So you have the most incredible product that you have launched called Organize, and it arrived to me this week and I have not tried it yet, but I'm very excited. I really want you to delve into the ingredients a little bit more about your products, and I'm actually really excited because I want to put it in my girls' smoothies, and I feel like there's no other product out there at the moment like this, so we'd love to hear a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so it all started when I was taking all the supplements. So I worked at a company called Health, I think you guys know, and I was I was the first employee there, like right from the early stages.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, and I loved it. It was because at that time, I was so sure that supplements were the be all and the end all of health. And I was a bit of the guinea pig in the office, taking every kind of protein, amino acid, electrolytes, you name it. I had like so much stuff that I was taking all the time, but I didn't feel great. And I took blood tests before and I still wasn't optimal on the synthetic vitamins I was taking. I was a bit confused by that. And then I got into the whole foods. Obviously, Paul Saladino influenced me and got into the organs. So I started spending like £200 a month to get all the organs, colostrum, collagen, beef protein. And it's also just a faff to take all of that stuff. And the beef protein's got natural flavors and it's like gums and stuff. And I wanted to get away from that. And it's also not accessible for people to spend that amount of money. So I couldn't believe it didn't exist. I wanted to put all of that into one product as a powder, super easy to take. And I wanted to do it without using any natural flavors, which people might hear that and say, why no natural flavors? But natural flavors aren't natural. They're made in a lab. They're super synthetic. It's completely a marketing term. And if you have like, I don't know, vanilla protein and you've been using that for a month, by the end of that month, you are sick of that flavor because it's not natural. There's something about it. Yeah. It might taste natural at first, but you get really sick of these flavors. So I wanted to do it with raw honey and I couldn't work out why no protein was using raw honey until I started to ask people. And in the industry of manufacturing, it's not standard to use raw honey. So I had to go through so many processes and eventually I spoke to about 50 manufacturers, but only one of them took the bet on me and was like, I see the vision in this. We'll do some development and see what we can do. And eventually came up with this. So
amazing.
We use raw honey now, but I've got my mum on it. She knows the benefits of organs, but like a lot of people, just doesn't like the taste. Now
that's like me. I can, I can take it in a capsule or a powder, but not eat it.
Yeah, exactly. And my little brothers as well. So you say you got children. My little brothers are crazy young. I've got a bit of an age gap. The youngest is
I think
3.
I saw a video. You started a YouTube, haven't you? And I saw them playing. You
How
playing
old
football
are
with
they?
them.
So 3, 5, 7 and 10.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So cute.
Oh.
So they take
I'm trying to
organised.
influence them positively, and they got on the raw milk, but organs was always difficult. But
Amazing.
now they absolutely love organised in a smoothie.
Oh.
To them, it's a milkshake.
Yeah.
But raw milk and the buffalo milk is even sweeter. Banana, honey, and then some organised, and they just absolutely love it.
Love that. It's a really good way to get it into kids, isn't it?
Without them knowing.
So what's in? So it's got colostrum,
Collagen, beef protein, organs, which is liver, heart, kidney, lung, and spleen.
Okay.
And then we only use raw honey, maple syrup, and date powder.
Amazing.
And then we have a little bit of Celtic sea salt as well.
And I even saw that you, your colostrum was sourced from calf to, what's the term?
So we source it from calves from cows that have fed the calf as much as the calf wants. And then you end up with a surplus that just gets wasted anyway, because no one really buys colostrum. They don't really know about it.
I was going to say, is it kind of like a
It gets
controversial, or do people...
Yeah, because some people think it's unethical, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
It depends where you go. There are businesses that unfortunately do sell colostrum that is taking it from the calf. There's a lot of bad practices, but it's not just in the meat industry or the dairy industry. It's also in monocrop agriculture. And I think any sort of industry is going to have negatives. But if you go to the right place, it is quite expensive to get like grass-fed, and they've got all these procedures. Where I get it from, Scandinavia, and in those countries, they have the highest quality of meat because it's illegal to have GMO. It's illegal to have hormones, and they have to be pasture raised for a certain period of the time of the year.
Amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really interesting.
Okay.
Good to know.
And you mentioned that you had to take a course of antibiotics recently, and you shared about the foods that you took after to restore your gut lining. And I thought it'd be really helpful to share what you kind of ate after.
Also, before you start, me and Nat both said we need the frigging recipe for the
panna cotta. It looks so good.
You shared.
I need to let out a secret.
Please, can you send it to us?
My girlfriend showed me that, and I took the credit for it. So when I was in Crete, I got off the plane, and I'm so against antibiotics. I had a very one sort of focused mindset where I was just against Western medicine.
It's kind of like a last resort, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And then when I got off the plane in Crete, I had this weird pain in my lymph gland, and I've never had anything like that. And I started worrying. Mum was like, "Oh, you might have like DVT, which is the deep vein thrombosis."
From the flight.
Yeah, I was just like, what is going on? So I went to the hospital literally as soon as I landed, and was in there for 10 hours. And in that time, my leg had swelled up, and I had this like red mark, and it was marks going close to like sepsis, which is obviously fatal. And
oh my God.
Oh my God.
Super
I was like,
serious.
what is going on? And no one knew what it was. And then this one doctor saw the red lines and was like, I know what it is. And then it was like, you need to take antibiotics straight away. And at that stage, I'm just so unsure what's going on. I want to get rid of it.
You need to save your life, basically.
I couldn't even walk. I was in so much pain. And I'm never like that as well. So I was like, okay, fine.
You've got to do what you've got to do.
Antibiotics. And the pain went, and it did heal my leg. And so I'm so grateful, and I had to do it in that situation. But afterwards, my gut was just not great. I had low energy, trying to work out again, just didn't feel good. So I carried on. Like in the hospital, you are in an environment that's under blue light. It's really unhealthy in so many ways. And they come in trying to give you this food. And I wasn't eating it because it's literally come out of packet and not what I eat. And they get angry that you don't eat the food. And obviously they're speaking Greek to me, and I don't know what is going on. But I sent my girlfriend on a trip to the supermarket just to get anything like fruit. Is there a meat counter? Can you get some liver? Luckily, she found some liver. And I was just eating raw liver when I got out. Yeah.
I bet the people in the hospital are like, what is this guy doing?
Who is this guy?
But then I healed in 4 days, and the expected time to be in there was 10 days.
Wow.
And he couldn't understand how I was walking and healed. And I said, it's the liver. And he was laughing. But just
Love
like,
that.
it's the food that you put in your body is how you heal.
Yeah. So what did you eat afterwards? Because we saw that you put some recipes or some
So I was
foods
eating
together.
a lot of fermented foods, obviously kimchi, sauerkraut. I'm getting really big, just for taste, it's so good. And that's full of probiotics. When you ferment anything, a lot of fermented cheese, raw dairy. And then the other two that's quite interesting for collagen, which lines the gut. That's how you rebuild your gut lining, is the collagen. Yeah. So I had oxtail bone broth. And this time of year, a lot of people are having that. Oh, my girlfriend made it.
Oh, gosh, you got a good one. So does she eat the same way that you do?
Yeah, okay, and she's Polish, so it was a traditional Polish recipe.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like a lot of people would be scared or wouldn't know where to start, would they?
It's really easy.
Is it?
If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Okay.
It's literally just getting the whatever part of the cow. So eating nose to tail, there's a lot of stuff that gets thrown out now. And the term nose to tail just means eating all of the animal, which we used to do because no one would want to waste any food. And so if you look in history, throughout history, there's traditional ways to make use of like we have such amazing recipes with the tail of a cow because we didn't want to waste it. So we found a way to boil it. And so it's super easy. Just chuck it in, get some vegetables and carrots, onion, that kind of stuff. And it's really nice. But when you leave it in the fridge, you get this layer of like gelatinous, it's almost like jelly.
Yeah, nice.
And
so
when you heat
good.
it up, it kind of goes a little bit oily, but it's so good. And you just feel really healthy.
Nourished.
Yeah, nourished is the right word. Yeah.
So you had that, you had fermented foods. What else would you recommend for people if they've had a course of antibiotics?
Well, I was recommending panna cotta and people were like, why would you recommend that? But when it's made properly, it's a superfood.
This is not a regular panna
Can
cotta.
you tell us what was in this panna cotta?
Yeah, so you can get grass-fed pasture-raised gelatin, and it's
Ossa do one, don't they? Yeah.
And so that's exactly what you need to repay your gut lining. It's so good for you, so healthy. And we don't really get any gelatin in our day-to-day. So it comes from like different parts of the bones and stuff. And you use that. Raw honey I had in it and just raw milk. And then you kind of get it all together. You leave the gelatin to like soak in, put it in the fridge. It's so easy.
Oh my God, I've actually got some of that gelatin at home. Like I'm literally going to make some tonight. It sounds so good.
It's so easy. And then I had like a little
about
berry compote on the top, which is you just cook some berries with some honey in it.
So simple as well, isn't it?
Yeah, like 5 ingredients.
Amazing. So then you had that to line your gut. What else did you have? Can you remember?
A lot of organs. I exactly what I was eating before, but I was emphasizing on the fermented foods and just trying to get the probiotics in and the collagen to line my gut.
Okay. Love that. And you did a post that went really viral and it mentioned 7 different hygiene habits that basically really damaging our health. Can you delve a little bit deeper into that? And what are signs that people should be looking out for basically to show that what they're using on their body is damaging?
Yeah, this one is controversial. And I probably want to say that before I get into this, there is so much in the modern world that we use without realizing how damaging it is to us. And when I speak about it, the last thing I want to do is scare someone, like make them feel bad about it.
Yeah.
It's more about raising the awareness because it creates space for them to then be positive and be like, oh, okay, I understand not to do this. This is why.
Yeah.
And then they see the benefits and they feel good. So it's almost feel grateful that you have the knowledge. It's taken me like 6 years to get to where I am now. And in that period, I wasn't doing everything perfect. And you can't beat yourself up for doing this. If you realize it, just take the time to make the improvements every day.
Yeah, you have to start somewhere, don't you? It's like see what resonates and then you make those changes.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer in the Kaizen philosophy, which is like 1% improvements every day. So it's Japanese philosophy. It's really nice because you can't make overnight changes, like change your whole life in one night.
Yeah.
So the big things are in the kitchen, there is pans and it's got Teflon, which is a non-stick material. And when you cook with it, if you're heating at high temperatures and you're scraping it, that stuff comes off in your food and you end up with these scratches. And you can visibly see stuff's coming off of that.
Yeah.
It's so damaging to your gut, but it's also linked with cancer and horrible things. So what I use is a stainless steel pan.
Okay.
That's one big toxin in your environment. And then when it comes to toiletries, things like makeup and
as we
shampoo,
sit here.
There are, and this is the thing, there are natural alternatives for everything.
Yeah.
But it's what you put on your skin every single day. So you shower every day. You use shower gel, shampoo, conditioner, come out, then you put moisturizer on. I saw something crazy. And this is why it's really difficult for women to be healthy with the modern standards that we have. But women put about 168, on average, 168 chemicals on their skin every day.
Wow.
Stop.
Which is insane.
With all their makeups, their skincare,
That's crazy,
that
isn't
actually
it?
is.
And also the problem is that's consecutively because I have this battle constantly where I'm like, oh, it's just a little bit of that. Like I pick my poison. So I'm like, I eat really well, but there's certain products that I am quite attached to and I still use. But then I do need to tell myself, I do need to realize that cumulatively, these are going to have a really negative effect on my hormones and everything, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's really easy. It's really easy for me to sit here and say that because I don't have to put makeup on and I don't have the pressure to do things like that. And it's a lot easier for guys. But I do believe there is a solution for everything. I do really believe there's natural alternatives if you know where to look and the ingredients that can. There's certain ingredients that work as a moisturizer or a sunscreen, like beef tallow and zinc oxide and beeswax. And if you know that you can find a sunscreen with those ingredients, it's going to be legit because they know what they're doing. So it's knowing what to look for. And there will be a period where you try, for example, with makeup, I imagine there's a period where like you have the brands that you love, and then you try and find a natural alternative. There's going to be a period where you're like, I just don't like this.
It doesn't work.
They're definitely, there's a lot more brands that are getting better though, 100%. I feel like there's a lot more, a lot cleaner brands that are coming out there that are doing the job better, because that's the problem. There's always been natural makeup out there, but unfortunately it just doesn't work as well. But I do feel like it's getting better,
and
isn't
this is the shift that's happening. It's really nice to see. It's not just the nutrition, but it's people being more aware of the toxins in their day-to-day environment.
Yeah.
I used to live in London, and it's so difficult to live a healthy lifestyle when you're in a city and there's all these different toxins. I'm in Maidenhead.
Okay.
And I go between like Maidenhead and Somerset, so it's kind of out of London, and there's a lot more countryside there. And I like to be in nature. I like to be away from people. There's just too much going on in London. But it's just that there's environment is so built up, and it's hard to find places to ground. There's so much pollution going on, so it's nice to be in the countryside.
This year, let's say no to microplastics, no to toxins, and yes to clean, healthy hydration, because water matters more than you think.
We're made up of 60% water, so what we drink literally makes us who we are. Enter Win-Win Water, the game changer in pure toxin-free hydration.
Most tap water is full of chemicals, fluoride, metals, hormone disruptors, and even medications. And unfortunately, most bottled water is made from fossil fuel-based plastic, which can leach nanoplastics into the water we drink.
That's where Win-Win Water comes in. Not only are all their bottles 100% plant-based, made from sustainable sugarcane, but their water is locally sourced mineral water that is naturally high in electrolytes and minerals. No need to add anything in, it's just as nature intended, real, live water.
So we're huge advocates for the UK-based water company Win-Win Water. For us, it really is the starting point for health. If you're drinking the best quality water with no toxins, your body will thank you for it. And in this case, the environment will thank you too.
Win-Win Water are currently offering 10% off subscriptions with the code RAISE, so that you can get the best quality water delivered for you and your family directly to your door.
Visit winwinwater.co.uk to find out more.
Can you tell us a little bit about what your morning and evening routine looks like in when you kind of wake up and go to sleep?
I used to be that guy that had the 50-step protocol of just biohacking, optimizing everything. I don't know if you know Ben Greenfield.
No, I've heard of him, but I don't know.
He's probably like one of the sort of leaders in biohacking when it first started, and I got obsessed with that. It's the same with the supplements, and it was things like he literally wakes up full naked, red light therapy, sun and everything, and having like 50 different steps in detail. And I copied that, and I was like, that is the way to do it. I couldn't, literally 3 days in, I'm like, this is impossible. And I don't have, he spends thousands on these devices. So for me, what has stuck and really works is keeping it simple, going back to nature. So I wake up, no phone, which is really difficult, but there's ways.
How long?
For about an hour.
Okay.
And obviously there's like, I have a business, so it's really tempting to wake up and look at like sales, customer service, whatever. There are days where I do it, and you can't be perfect.
Yeah.
But I leave my phone outside. I don't have any alarm. I let natural light wake me up, because I'm going to bed and waking up at the same time every day. So I'm very in tune.
What time do you go to bed?
10.
Okay.
And then wake up at about 6:30.
Every morning, even without an alarm?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's weird. When you are so in tune, watching the sunrise, watching the sunset, I can wake up and know pretty much like exactly what the time is.
What time is?
I'll have the light and how I feel, and I'll be like, it's 6:45, and it's like, boom. It's really weird. But if I travel or go out for dinner or something and it throws me off, I'm completely off with the timing. So being in tune is, you have this weird internal clock that works. Wake up outside, barefoot. It's just getting harder now in the cold. Just on the grass, just drinking spring water, not drinking tap water. Obviously it's contaminated. There's lots of pollution. And what's nice about tap water...
Where do you get your water from?
Just Waitrose. I get the spring water, the bottles of it in glass.
Okay, nice.
And what's nice about the whole water situation is there's more people now talking about it, like Bear Grylls. I saw that he's in with Water to Co.
Yeah, I saw that. Keeps coming up on my Instagram sponsored post.
It's really affordable as well. If you look at the price, I think it's kind of targeting,
so important,
making it accessible for everyone.
I either filter water using like a triple reverse osmosis filter, which is like the highest quality one, and it's not crazy.
Which brand is
just
it?
one on Amazon. It's about £350.
Okay.
Buy it once, sits on your counter. Just you have to remineralize with it.
Yeah.
It's like
a lot of them you do, don't you? Because it strips it and then you have to put trace
but it takes
minerals.
everything out, but it takes the bad stuff out, and you can put in the minerals.
Okay.
So generally I'll have a bottle of spring water, I'll add some lemon, salt, stand outside like a weirdo, just drinking that for
Love
about
it.
30 minutes. And then my favorite time in the morning is about an hour after, where I can reward myself with a coffee. And
So know that feeling.
yeah, it's so good. And I journal. So that's probably the centerpiece of my morning routine. That sets me up for the whole day.
I think I saw that you said that was the thing that's impacted your kind of journey over the last few years the most, right? With your journaling practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did for a long time think it was hippie and a bit like woo-woo and writing a diary and whatever. But I've done it for about 3 years now. And I started off with writing my to-do list, which is so standard.
Yeah.
And that was for a productivity reason. Saw increase in productivity. I was like, okay, I'm going to try gratitude. And I was like, wow, I feel so grateful for the little things I was missing before.
Yeah.
Then I added an intention, which really just aligns me for where I'm going for the day. And I also find that after I've had my coffee and stuff, I'm so ready just to jump in with work. And if I set an intention, I just feel good. If everything just feels very aligned with what I'm doing. And then at the end of the day, I reflect on the day. And that's probably the biggest change. It's a little bit more of a drag to like have to sit at the desk, write reflection. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And when I found like when you go through experiences in the day, you almost forget them. The learning happens in the reflection. And so if I write an improvement.
We both like love that.
Yeah. It sounds great, but it's honestly,
It's so true.
it's hard to keep with it until you start to see the benefits. And it takes a bit of time to get into it.
So you're writing and journaling morning and evening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly morning and then just like reflection. If there's something strong, I'll just definitely do a reflection in the evening.
Nice.
And then I do like a weekly goals on a Sunday where it's reflecting on the week. What were some wins that happened? What are some improvements that could be made? And then writing down like my big goals for the week. And then I check back on last week. So I'm actually reflecting on the last week and everything and just seeing how the progress. So I'm very into like productivity, working hard. And so that's been a big thing for that.
Yeah.
Amazing. So after you've journaled, when would you then have breakfast?
So
do you have your coffee whilst you journal?
So I have my...
And exercise as well? Because I feel like your exercise routine is quite interesting as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like full body primal. So my...
Tell us more.
So it's spring water, hydrate, because we wake up dehydrated. Then I have my yogurt before the coffee, and I'll just have something quite light, like a bit of yogurt, some fruit, honey, bee pollen, like
That's
super
my go-to
nutritious.
breakfast.
So good.
Greek yogurt is just in the morning.
It's so good. I actually like, I've been getting into goat's yogurt.
Oh,
I found some.
Oh, where'd you get that from?
Yeah.
Even in Waitrose, they got goat's yogurt.
Okay.
Yeah, it is pasteurized, but there's also a farm called Flying Goat Farm, and they do raw goat's yogurt.
You know I'm going to be going straight to order some.
It tastes a little bit goaty, but I put olive oil.
I was going to say how
I saw that you added olive oil to your yogurt this morning, which I thought was interesting.
A new little trick that I got from Greece. And olive oil and honey on yogurt is so good.
I'm going to try that.
Actually quite good.
Yeah.
A little bit of olive oil, not too much.
Yeah.
The right amount.
And what olive oil do you use? Sorry, I literally love to know.
Yeah. So with olive oil, there's so much bullshit out there, obviously. And there's even, I've heard that the mafia because Italy is a big producer of olive oil, but the mafia is mixing it, they're lining it with seed oils and then selling it to big chains. And there's a whole thing going on with, there's just too much olive oil, or not enough olive oil, but too much demand for it.
Yeah.
And so they're finding ways to cut it, save costs, whatever. So I am very picky with the olive oil I use. And a lot of the olive oils in the supermarkets are actually like 2 years old. And they have a crazy use by date.
Okay.
And so right now, it's all about the seasons. Right now, there is an early harvest that's coming from Spain. This is going to go out of stock now.
So how do you find out about this?
Yeah.
You just look at the back of the bottle.
So where do you get yours from? From
Waitrose.
Okay.
There's one that's just come out and it's literally fresh produced.
Which one?
Oh, I don't know the name. I can see the
send
label.
it.
It's a Spanish name. I'll give you guys
We'll link it. We'll leave it a link for you guys.
But you want to look for either the harvest date if they've got it, look for as recent as possible, like the last 3 to 6 months maximum. Okay. And then if they don't have a harvest date, look at the use by date and give it at least 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And then I think we're going to have to wrap up soon. But one thing that we ask all of our guests is to name one book that has transformed their life. What would be yours?
Oh,
if you have one, or you can say a couple.
There's a couple.
Go on 3 then.
Yeah, my 2 passions are health and business. For business, it's without a doubt Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. Shoe Dog, which is the story of how Nike was created and founded by Phil Knight. And it's his memoir on how it happened. And I love it because it's insane. The way that he persevered through adversity. I don't know what it is.
Is there a film? Is this the one with Ben Affleck? They did the film
Oh,
about
so
the
that's a chunk of it.
Okay.
That's when Nike's big.
Okay.
So this is before that.
Okay.
And I love that film as well, because that's also
it's really cleverly done.
That's the kind of guy he is. He takes bets and has crazy wins, and he betted everything on, I don't know, you got to read the book. It's insane. So for business, that's a big one. And then just because this one probably had the biggest, most profound effect on my diet and actually got me into the animal-based space and knowledge about seed oils. When I first heard about it was Mark Sisson, 2 meals a day.
Okay.
Which is really interesting. And I looked at it because I used to eat like breakfast, lunch and dinner. I looked at it like 2 meals a day. I don't know if I'm going to like this book because that just seems ridiculous. And now I eat 2 really, really big protein-filled meals. And I don't snack in between. And I don't feel like I need a third meal. I do have yogurt and that's like about it. But I really resonated with that book and it changed my perspective. I learned a lot more than I realised I was going to.
Amazing.
Nice,
Niall, thank you so much. Even though that was short,
thank you.
I feel like you provided us with some amazing information.
I'm
so
glad.
thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
And I think there's just going to have to be a round 2.
100%.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
And where can people find you if they want to know more?
So my YouTube and Instagram is just Niall Kiddle. And then what I'm doing, my big focus, my passion is organised. And that is literally just organised.co.
Amazing. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.